class? How was your week? Mine was good too. Now we can recall from the previous class that we have been finding area of right angle triangles, but in the right angle triangle we have been using a specific formula. Like when you have been given a triangle like this one with A, B and C, this one is a right angle triangle. In finding this right angle triangle, who can tell us the formula of finding the area? Yes, Coach Gay? The area of this triangle is a half base times height. Which we have A, which is the base, and we have B, which is the height. And when we have been given the angle, how can you also find the area? Maureen?
A half base sine theta.
We can also find the area using the formula a half base sine theta. A half AB sine theta. Now in our topic today, we will be looking how can we solve triangles which are not right angle triangle. In our previous classes we have been doing right angle triangle. Now when we have triangle which is not a right angle triangle, that means that in these triangles we'll have sides A, B and C. How do we find the area? How do we find the angle? And how do we find the sides? This is where we introduce the sine and the cosine rule. Who will tell us what is the cosine rule? The sine rule? Nori?
It will be A over sine A is equal to B over sine B.
Now, if you have been given a triangle which is not right angle triangle, you can be told to find either the side or the angle. And in sine rule, it says that when you take the side A, you divide it to the corresponding angle, which is the sine of A. It is the same as when you take B and you divide it to the corresponding sine of the angle which is B, and is the same as taking C to divide it to the corresponding angle which is sine of C, which is the sine of C. When do we use this sine rule? When do we use the sine rule? The sine rule, we use it when you have been given either two sides and one angle. Either two sides and one angle. Or when you are given one angle and one side, then they are asking you for the next angle. That is when we use a sine rule. If we can use an example like this one, if we can use like this one, this is P, this is R, this is Q. Then you have been given angle Q to be 25.6 degrees, side 17.5, then this one is 14.5. Then you have been told to find side PR. Find side PR, which is small q, which is small q. Here we cannot, as you can see, it is not a right angle triangle. That means that we cannot solve it using the formula. But because we have one angle and we have the sides, we can find the other side, isn't it? If we take this side, we divide to the angle, to the sine of the angle, it should be equal to this side, you divide it to the angle, you divide it to the other angle. You have said that you want to solve this triangle using the sine rule, and we have two angles, which is angle R and angle Q, and we have two sides. This is side R and side P. Now, how do we find side Q, which is PR? It will be R, which is the side, R, which is the side, this one, over sine theta, which is sine R, is equal to this side, which is Q over sine R, over Q over sine Q, which should be equal to P over sine Q, P. But we don't have this side, we have the other side, which is R. Our R is 17.5 over sine of R, which is 30 degrees, is equal to Q, which is what we are supposed to find, over sine of 25.6. Now, if you look at this working, when you work it, you will find your value of Q. We cross multiply, which Q is equals to 17.5 sine of 25.6 divided by sine of 30 degrees. Can use your calculators. Can use the calculators.
Continue.
Yes, what is the answer?
The answer is 15.12.
15.12 centimeter. Now, this is the side Q. You can see now solving this triangle is easier when you use the sine rule. Any question?
You said that formula is applicable only when the triangles are triangle.
Yes. When they are not, they are non-right angle triangle. We are going straight to the cosine rule. Cosine rule. When do we use cosine rule? When do we use cosine rule? We use cosine rule when we have been given both the sides without any angle. When you have been given both sides without what? Without the angle. Meaning that when we have this one and these are the angles, and sign, we will set that sin x squared is equal to s squared plus b squared minus ab cos c. AB cos c. And we can also use a squared is equal to b squared plus c squared minus b c cos a. And lastly, b squared is equal to a squared plus c squared minus ac cos b. AC cos b. That means that when you have both the sides but you don't have the angle, when you are told to calculate either the angle or the other side, we use the cosine rule. Let us use an example quickly. If we have been given a triangle with sides 3.5, 4.5, and 6.5, that is z, x, and y, and we have been told to find angle z. Angle z. Which formula do we use to find angle z? Which formula do we use to find angle z? Cosine rule, which is z squared is equals to x squared plus y squared minus xy cos of z. What is our z? Side z is 4.5 squared is equals to side x is 6.5 squared plus 3.5 squared minus 6.5 times 3.5 cos of theta. Now this theta is what we want. This theta is what we want. Now we will do the calculation. You square 4.5. This is equal to 6.5 squared plus 3.5 squared minus 6.5 times 3.5 cos of theta. Now if you want the cos of theta, you bring this the other side, then you divide by 5, negative 5.17, negative 517.67. Then we find our angle to be 86.81 degrees. That is the angle. That is the angle. In groups, you can do this one. You can do this one in groups. You can do this one in groups. Calculate the side of the angle given. Calculate the side of the angle given that this one is 3.5, this one is 5.6, this one is 9.2. A, B, C. Calculate angle C. Calculate angle C. You can do this one in groups, then we continue in the next session. And do this one as a group, then we continue in the next session. Let me take the roll call. Maureen.
Present.
Wesley Kosgei.
Present.
James.
Present.
Thank you. When we meet next time, we'll continue from there. Thank you.